Hello Star Wars fans and Star Wars action figure fanatics. Steve back here with you, my friends. First and foremost, I do have to apologize. It seems last week I had a few computer issues going on and service provider issues going on with my computer last week, which prevented me from posting or watching any videos on YouTube last week. You know, I'm subscribed to hundreds of channels in the Star Wars community. So when I finally got everything back on track, I was literally flooded with hundreds of videos that I missed out on all last week. So I'm going to do my best to catch up on all you guys' stuff and comment and all that good stuff all today, my friends. As this video is posting, it'll give me a good chance to get caught up on all you guys' stuff. So I do have to apologize for not being around last week. But you know, it is what it is. But I'm back and it's ready to go. The Star Wars train is rolling, my friends, and thankfully so, because we got plenty of new stuff coming in next week, and I can't wait to share all that good stuff, all coming in the very, very near future. So please stay tuned to my channel, my friends, to the latest and greatest in Star Wars action figures. As for today's video, guys, we're going to take a closer look at the very new Darth Vader figure from the Hasbro's Black Series 3 3/4 line. Yes, I can hear the groans across the Star Wars community right now, my friends. A new Darth Vader figure, yes, as we haven't not had yet enough Darth Vader figures from Hasbro. You know, in my personal opinion, this guy is actually a very, very nice addition to anybody's Star Wars collection. A very scene-specific figure here. Quite a bit to talk about with this guy. Before we get into all that stuff, of course, my friends, let's go and take a look at the packaging. He comes in really quick. This is number 7 in the Star Wars Black Series 3 3/4 line. Here he is in the packaging. He does come on the very cool TIE Fighter pilot card back, of course. You do have a nice shot of the portrait of the figure right on front. And as we take a look at the back of the box, we're also treated to a nice shot from Empire Strikes Back, which this figure is inspired from. Of course, we do have the text on top if you like to pause and read that. And we do have the Disney and Hasbro logos on the very bottom. Now, as far as the figure is concerned, this is actually an update of an earlier Hasbro figure we have received quite some time ago. Now, this guy was actually put out all the way back in the year 2000. In the year 2000. Sorry guys, I couldn't help it. Anyway, back in the year 2000, there was the Power of the Jedi line. Now, there was a figure put out called Darth Vader Dagobah. Now, this is actually the same idea we're having with this figure here. Same kind of thing, you know, we are getting an update on as far as articulation is concerned, soft goods, and a brand new sculpt. But, you know, as far as the scene-specific figure here is pretty much the same idea, which is very, very cool. It was a very cool figure from way back then, and what's really cool about this one that I like better than this figure is the red lenses they put on this figure, which you can kind of see here, which is a real nice little touch. But other than that, we're getting some new articulation and some updated soft goods. So for the most part, a very nice addition and a very nice update to anybody's Star Wars collection. Now, as we take a closer look at the helmet sculpt here, and not bad at all. You can see where the faceplate does come apart here right on front there. For my displaying purposes, of course, I probably will be displaying this guy without the face piece on front, because that's the whole point of displaying this guy, in my personal opinion. Otherwise, he probably would just get lost in the sea of other Darth Vader figures we all have in our collections, I'm sure. So, this little face piece does come off here, which I'm going to take off really quick here. And, you know, it's a small little detail, little piece there, which is very cool. But again, for the most part, I will be displaying this guy probably like this in my collection. Now, as far as the sculpt is concerned, you get a very nice likeness to Mark Hamill here. Not bad at all. It looks pretty good, for the most part anyway. And it seems to get some nice sculpting as far as the dome is concerned. Very, very nice. And, you know, overall, just a very nice sculpting job as far as that is concerned. You know, not too bad at all. Now, we are treated to some soft goods with this guy. You know, we're back to the cloth chain here, of course, and you do have the robe, which is a separate piece here. You do have the inner robe here also, which is separate as well. and you do get some nice detail as far as the sculpting, as far as the chest box is concerned. You know, the paint applications are a little sloppy on my version here, but again, they might do vary, I'm sure, from figure to figure. But for the most part, overall, very, very nicely done. Now, I do believe this is a branded sculpt here. Now, right here on the leg here, I'm not sure if you can tell. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up, but it does say 2015 on there, so which leads me to believe this is a brand new sculpt here. I'm not actually sure as far as the torso and arms are concerned. They probably could have come from an earlier Darth Vader figure, but again, I'm not really too sure on that. But overall, a very nicely done sculpted figure here. Now, you do get some nice articulation as well. You do get some ball joints on the arms here, which leads me to the next point here. I wish they would probably added the paint applications to the shoulder, which is, you do get that solid black piece on the pin there on the shoulder, which would have been nice if they would have painted that silver, but you know, maybe it's just me nitpicking again. As far as the sculpt is concerned, a very nicely sculpted figure there, guys. You get some nice detail here, nice sculpting on there. You do get ball joints on the arms, as I did mention. You get ball joints on the elbows as well. You do get swivel on the forearms there. You also do get a swivel on the waist. Swivels on the legs here. You have ball joints on the knees and ankles. So articulation is, for the most part, done very nicely. And, you know, so overall, you know, a very nice addition to anybody's Star Wars collection. Now, the lightsaber itself has got a nice mold itself, you know, with the non-removable blade, nicely painted, but nothing we haven't seen in Darth figures from the past. Unfortunately, he can only hold it in his left hand. His right hand has got more of an open clasp there, so he can't really hold anything in that hand. But you know, not bad at all, and you know, for the most part, a very nice update on a very scene-specific figure, I should say. And as I said before, I probably will be displaying this guy without the little face piece. So again, a very nice addition to anybody's Star Wars collection. You know, kind of a little nod from Hasbro to all the collectors out there, I suppose. And I cannot say this guy is not a bad figure at all. It's actually a very, very cool figure, and it will be proudly displayed in my collection, and highly recommend for you guys' collection as well, my friends. So that being said, overall, very, very cool. Not a bad Darth Vader figure at all. So until next time, my friends, thank you as always for joining me today. May the Force be with you. Happy hunting. And I will see you, friends, all very, very soon. Stay tuned, my friends. I really do mean it. I got lots of great stuff coming all next week. So please stay tuned for the latest and greatest in Star Wars action figures. So until then, my friends, have a great day. Happy hunting. And I will see you all very, very soon.